Good morning, all. Uh, can you able to see the screen that has been displayed on the screen? Yes. Yeah. Yesterday we were discussing with respect to your bandwidth. Only 25 members. We'll just quickly run through what we have discussed in the last class, where we left out. So then we can start. So the thing is, with respect to our periodic and non-periodic signals, how it was performing, what are all the components that it will be carrying, everything in detail. We have just seen it. The main components of your sine wave is three components. One is amplitude, another one is frequency, the last one is phase. So these three, based on that, you'll be saying it's a single or a composite signals is simple or a composite signals are available. Periodic in the sense the particular amplitude or frequency or phase should not change. So if anything is changed, if you have the amplitude change in it, then your frequency will also be changing. So depending on that, you'll be having composite signals with respect to periodic one. Non-periodic in the sense the amplitude will be changed, your phase shift will be changed, followed by your uh, frequency will also be changing. So depending on that, we'll just deal with respect to periodic and non-periodic signals. So now coming back to the topic called as bandwidth. This is where we left out in the last class. The bandwidth always it will be referred to a composite signal. Whenever a composite signal is available, the difference between the highest and the lowest frequency contained in that signal is nothing but your bandwidth. For example, the diagram 1 shows the uh, diagram of representation with respect to your this is frequency domain diagram with respect to your periodic signal. Whereas here the diagram 2 represents the same frequency domain uh, graph itself. Only thing is, this is with respect to non-periodic. With respect to periodic, if you just have a spike that represents the frequency, whereas with respect to a non-periodic, you need to have a continuous evaluation of the frequency values. So with respect to that, you'll be plotting it. So that's how it will be. The bandwidth here is the lowest frequency is 1000, the highest frequency is 5000. So which is 5000 minus 1000 is nothing but the bandwidth that is it is within this particular range, 4000 hertz of frequencies are available. Within that particular range, I can just go with it. Example I can give you is your frequency modulation, FM. All of you may have listened to it. So it will not be occurring with respect to all the particular frequencies. So from 88 hertz to 104 kilohertz, it may be giving you the uh, frequencies may be audible in that particular duration. So whatever is that 8 minus sorry 14 kilohertz minus 88 hertz will give you the answer with respect to the bandwidth. So that's what it will be having. So in the similar fashion, you'll be having AM also. AM best example is your Bhadravati station. AM refers to amplitude modulation. With respect to that, some more particular frequencies will be available. You can calculate the bandwidth based on the lowest frequency that you are having, highest frequency that you are having. So whether it is a periodic or a non-periodic, both for that, the calculation is one and the same. Let's move on to the next one. Yeah. If a periodic signal is decomposed into 5 sine waves, they have given that. So one particular periodic signal is that. So that has been decomposed into 5 different sine waves with the frequencies of 100, 300, 500, 700, and 900. What is its bandwidth? Draw the spectrum assuming all components have a maximum amplitude of 10 volts. This is a periodic signal. Periodic signal, I need to write a frequency need to be marked with respect to the amplitude with respect to the spikes. Now, what we'll be doing is we'll just assume that FH will be the highest frequency and FL will be the lowest frequency. That is with respect to calculation of the bandwidth. Then we have the formula FH minus FL will give you the answer for it. So what is the frequency, maximum frequency that you are having? 900. What is the lowest frequency that you are having? 100. So 900 minus 100, 800 hertz will be the bandwidth that you are having in that particular. So if you want to plot it, it will be in this. And each of the particular spike will be of the same amplitude. That's what they have given it. So with respect to that, 10 volts, with respect to it, all the frequencies has been marked. Okay, we'll take one more example. A periodic signal has a bandwidth of 20 hertz. The highest frequency is 60 hertz. What is the lowest frequency? How to calculate it? The formula for it is very simple. Can you able to see the window? What I'm writing it over here, bandwidth B, I'll just represent it with respect to this. FH will be the highest frequency minus FL. Yes. So with respect to this, is it visible to all of you? Yes. Okay. So this is what it is. So what they have given us, they have given the bandwidth, I think. So bandwidth has been given as 20 hertz. And bandwidth is represented with respect to the frequency. So that's why the metric is hertz itself. So 20 hertz is the one that they have given it. The highest frequency is 60 hertz. That is what they have given it. So with respect to this, FH has been given as 60 hertz or 80 hertz. What is that? 60 hertz. 60 hertz. Is it visible now to all of you? Yes. Okay. What we need to calculate is we need to calculate the lowest frequency. It is very easy to calculate. So what we need to do is we need to substitute the value. 20 is equal to 60 minus FL. In other words, FL will be equal to 60 minus 20. So FL will be equal to 40 hertz. So this is simplest calculation that we are having it. See, if you want to diagrammatically represent means you need to use the spikes. If the amplitude is one and the same, all the spikes will be having will be lying at the same particular end. 40 till 60, you need to just have it. So minimum frequency it starts from 40 and it is having with respect to 60. So this is what it is with respect to calculation. With respect to the periodic one, what about the non-periodic? So we have an example. A non-periodic composite signal has a bandwidth of 200 kilohertz. With respect to the formula, it remains same. There is no change. With a middle frequency of 140 hertz and peak amplitude of 20 volts. The two extreme frequencies have an amplitude of 0. That means whatever the two extreme frequencies is that, it starts from 0 itself. It will not go with the maximum amplitude. Once it reaches to one particular area, it may go up to 20 volts. That is what the meaning is. So with respect to this, suppose if I take you, if I just take one more whiteboard, that will be yeah. Instead of this, I'll just use the drop. This is my frequency. Just with respect to amplitude. This is where it starts. It may go up to 20 volts. Once it reaches the 20 volts, it will be coming back. So what they are saying is they're pointing at this particular this will be zero amplitude. So that's what they are saying it. So with respect to this particular example, the two extreme frequencies have an amplitude of zero. So I just have 200 kilohertz as a bandwidth. Bandwidth is 200 kilohertz. They have just given it. With respect to that, middle frequency is given. Middle frequency in the sense, if I just sorry, need to use the drop. So this is the middle frequency. This particular thing has been given, and it has been given as 140 hertz. Is it kilohertz? Hertz? 140 kilohertz, sorry. So I need to write it as 140 kilohertz. That's it. Whereas I just mark with respect to these two, it has been given. The bandwidth is equal to 200 kilohertz. Fine. So bandwidth is given, middle frequency is given. We have to calculate the highest frequency as well as the lowest frequency. If the middle frequency is 140, behind this, if you want to go it, and above this, if you want to go it, and if you want to maintain the total difference between that as 200, then the lowest frequency that we are having is, it must be starting with the FL should start with the 40. Whereas with respect to the highest frequency, FH, it should start with the, or it should end with the 240. So what they have given only the middle frequency followed by the bandwidth. And they have given that it is a non-periodic. Non-periodic, it continuously, it will be evaluating. This is how it will be. So they have given that with respect to the extreme particular frequencies, that is your FL followed by FH, it will be going with the zero amplitude. So this is how the diagram will be looking like, and how the calculation has been given. See here. You getting it? Next one. An example of a non-periodic, one more non-periodic composite. We have taken two examples for periodic, two examples for non-periodic. Composite signal is a signal propagated by an AM, amplitude modulation radio station. In the United States, each AM radio station in the United States, each radio station is assigned a 10 kilohertz bandwidth. That is, the difference is 10 kilohertz. The total bandwidth dedicated to AM radio ranges from, this is what they have given, 530 to 1700 kilohertz. And you need to remember that voice frequency ranges from, yesterday we have seen this, 0 to 4 kilohertz. Whatever the human voice is there, that will be recognized between this particular range. So based on this, I need to just plot a thing. So similar way, your frequency domain, sorry, frequency modulation, they have taken that with respect to that 200 kilohertz of bandwidth is there. So it ranges from 88 to 108. So depending on that, you need to arrange it for 200 kilohertz of bandwidth. So that's all with respect to your bandwidth. Any doubt with respect to bandwidth, how to calculate it, how to get that particular, how to diagrammatically represent that? Okay, PPT is not visible. Wait a minute. Now, is it visible? PPT. Yes. So this is what we were discussing with respect to your previous example. 200 kilohertz bandwidth was there, middle frequency was given, and all those things. Amplitude was having with respect to 220 volts. So extreme frequencies will have the amplitude as 0 volts. For that, this is how the diagram is. So that's what we have just discussed it. After that, I just gave an example with respect to your amplitude modulation with respect to a radio station that is situated in United States. So it has assigned a 10 kilohertz of bandwidth. The total bandwidth dedicated to AM radio ranges from, this is what the range that has been given. Within this 10 kilohertz, how it will be assigned, depending on that, I need to just give that particular. We need to remember one more thing with respect to your AM or FM. The voice frequency of a human being is ranging from 0 to 4K hertz. So this is nothing but bandwidth. So lowest is 0, highest is 4. So up to 4 kilohertz, whatever is that, you can just have it. Similarly, from 530 to 1700 kilohertz, between that particular range, each particular area, if you just look into it, so total thing is 10 kilohertz bandwidth. So between difference between these two, so you can just take that particular thing as an example. Understand? Some in the other particular example, we have going to see the frequency modulation radio station. FM refers to frequency modulation, whereas AM refers to amplitude modulation. So depending on the frequency or amplitude, we'll be just going to deal with respect to those two computations. And one more thing, modulation is you'll be adding some extra things. You're broadcasting it. It is not for one, it is for many. So once it reaches to many who is at the far distance also, you need to modulate the signals. Directly, you cannot send the signals. So that is what you call as modulation. How it will be done, we'll just see it. So this is very simple example of your FM and radio, FM or else AM with respect to your radio stations, which we'll be seeing it often. Next, we'll just move on to the next one that is called as digital signals. Okay, analog signals is over now. So now we'll move on to the digital signals. Analog signals, it was a continuously evaluating the values and it was plotting it on the screen. Digital, it is a discrete one. So either it can be at the highest or at the lowest or in between. If you are referring any particular value, you can just plot that. So three particular signal level stages we can have it, or else in general, whichever the signal that we have seen with respect to digital, we always plot it as highest or the lowest. Highest value, it will be taking it as 1, and lowest value, it will be taking it as 0. That's what the assumption that we have given it with respect to analyzing any digital signal. The same, keeping the same thing in our mind, we'll just see how it will be differed with respect to your keeping the same thing in our mind, we'll just see how it is differed with or how it is implemented with respect to your data communication principle. Okay, so okay, the topics to be covered in this particular section, that is digital signals, is bit rate. Very important thing. How many data bit I need to transmit in a signal? How many I need to transmit? Or in a one signal, if I want to transmit it, how many bits I can transmit? So that is very important. That is what you call as a bit rate. Whereas the next one is bit length. Next one is bit length. So what is the length of that particular bit? Is it 8-bit length, or is it 1-bit length, or 2-bit, or how many? So that one I need to just have it in my particular thing. That is also need to be considered. Next one is digital signal as a composite analog signal. So I'm just sending this particular digital signal to be converted as a composite analog signal. Composite is nothing but different signal levels will be there, as well as that is different amplitude levels. Phase will be different, followed by frequency will be different. I'm just composing them. So how to represent this particular digital signal into a composite analog signal? That is what we'll be just seeing, and then how it will be appearing in the application. So that's what we'll be just seeing it with respect to your digital signals. So we'll just take one by one. First is the bits. Bits here is nothing but, see here, there are two examples has been given, two graphs has been plotted. First graph is a digital signal with 2 levels. The second graph is a digital signal with 4 levels. What is this 4 levels and 2 levels? We'll just see one by one. So with respect to this particular first diagram, they are saying it has 2 levels. 2 levels in the sense, one is at the middle level, we'll say it, that is 0. The other the other one is at the highest level followed by lowest level. Only 2 levels are there. So that's why it is called as 2 levels. So based on this, your particular signals has been plotted. Signals has been represented with respect to the horizontal lines. So the horizontal lines will be represented as signals, not the vertical lines. I'm repeating this once again. So your horizontal lines are nothing but the signals. Understanding it? So with respect to your digital, it is easy to understand with respect to the signals. Horizontal is nothing but the signals. So one signal is available at the level 2, that is highest level it is having. Next time, if it is 0 means it is going to the lowest level. 1, once again, it will be going to the highest level. Like that, the signals has been plotted in this particular graph. So how many bits are there? How many bits has been transmitted? So this is 1 second. 1 second is lying over here. How many bits are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 bits per second I'm transmitting it. That becomes my bit rate. How much data or how many bits I'll be transmitting in a second, that is what I need to record it. That particular record becomes the bit rate. Are you getting it? So how many bits I need to transmit in a second? If I record it, that becomes my bit rate. In a similar fashion, look at the second particular graph. So in this, we have 4 levels. So we have level 4, which is at the highest level. There is an intermediate level between your middle level and the highest level. That is level 3, we'll call it as. And we will be not considering this particular 0 position itself. We'll just take one more particular level below this particular 0 level, maybe exactly at the half of the from the middle particular level to the lowest level. So that is level 2 followed by level 1. So 4 levels are there. How many signals are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 8 signals are there. How many bits I need to have it? See here, 1 second. How many bits? For crossing your particular level 4, you need to you will be having 2 bits. How it is 2 bits, we'll just see later. Don't worry about it. So what is this particular diagram is? That is what I'm just explaining you. I'm just explaining you this diagram, not with respect to how it has been come from. So they have given this particular level 4 will be having 2 bits, means I need to consider these 2 bits. Signal is 1, whereas data bit representation is 2. Bit rate is represented with respect to how many bits you have transmitted. In one signal, if you transmit 2 means you need to take those 2 particular count. So 2 plus 2 plus 2, like that. 8 into 2 is 16. So 16 bits per second is the bit rate for this particular signals, which will be having for a digital signal with the 4 levels. With the 2 levels, it is having 8 bits per second. So whereas with respect to the 4 levels, it gets increased twice that particular value, that is 16 bits per second, it will be there. Understanding it? So how this particular thing or how this particular calculation is done, how many bits need to be transmitted, how it will be done. So based on your logarithmic or exponential thing, we need to calculate. Suppose think that a digital signal has 8 levels. 8 different levels are there. How many bits are needed per level? We have seen that for a one particular signal, if it is having 2 particular levels, then 8 bits per second I need to transmit it. So in the similar fashion, if we have 16 bits at that time, 4 levels we are having it. Now, with respect to 8 levels, if you are talking about, then so always there is a formula to calculate. So the calculation is very simple. It is in terms of logarithmic of level, whatever the thing is that 2 bits are being represented, that is either 0 or 1. So that's why log of 8 to the base 2. That will be giving you the number of bit representation with respect to each particular level. So each level, you need to have 3 particular bits to represent. Then we can say that 8 levels, I can have it in my particular box. 4 levels, we were having 16 bits. So that's how it will be just represented. So 3 bits at a time means in 1 second, how many bits I need to transmit it? I need to just calculate it depending on the particular number of bits available. For one signal element, 3 bits is required. This is how it will be calculated. We just come back to the previous slide. Yeah. Yeah. Here. See here, 2 bits are represented. How it has come? It has come from here. Logarithmic of level is 4. Logarithmic of 4 to the base 2. What will be the value? 2. So 2 bits is there. You are getting it. Logarithmic of level is 2 to the base 2. So that is 1 bit representation for one signal element. This is how it will be represented. Understanding it? Okay. One more problem is that we need to download a text document at the rate of 100 pages per minute. Okay, 100 pages per minute is the one that we want to download it, or we need to download a text document. What is the required bit rate of the channel? That means how many bits that it can be downloaded in one particular second. That is what it is having. Assuming that we need to know how many, what is the page content, how many lines that it will be having, how many characters it can support, as well as in each of the character, how many bits is there. So very important. So they have given that we need to assume each page is an average of, is an average. That means 24 lines you may have it, or 25 lines. How many lines? On an average, 24 lines it may have, with 80 characters in each particular line. So okay, 24 lines are there in each particular line. It will be having 80 characters, and one particular character requires 8 bits. One character, if you want to have it, means 8 bits that it will be just having. What is a bit rate? That is what they are asking. It is very simple. First, what you need to do is you need to have this particular 24 lines as that. So among that 80 characters, you need to take it followed by 8. So combination of it, it works. So you need to apply multiplicative application. So this is nothing but your 24 multiplied by 80 multiplied by 8. Then followed by how many pages you have, like that 100 pages per minute it is going to download. Per minute you need to represent it in terms of seconds, because your bit rate is calculated in terms of seconds itself, bits per second, bps. This is what we'll be just saying it. So you need to convert that particular minute to second. How to convert it? Divided by 60. That's all. So 20, it becomes 24 into 80 characters into 8 bit of each character multiplied by how many pages? 100 pages, like that. Per minute it is there. So divided by 60 becomes bits per second. So whatever the value that you will be getting it is nothing but your answer for the bit rate that it will be having with respect to downloading a text document of 100 pages per minute, where each page is consisting of 24 lines on an average, followed by 80 characters, and each character will be of length 8 bits. This is how it will be calculated. So this is very simple with respect to your bit rate calculation. One more particular example is that, so a digital voice channel, uh, as we have seen in the chapter 4, a previous chapter, so is made by digitizing a 4 kilohertz bandwidth. 4 kilohertz bandwidth is that, analog voice signal is that. So this should be digitized to a voice channel. So we need to sample the signal at twice the highest frequency. We assume that each sample requires 8 bits to represent. What is the required bit rate? Okay, fine. So there is some particular calculation happen. How it is calculated, we need to just know it. So what they have given us, we have a particular analog voice signal is there, which is of having the bandwidth as 4 kilohertz. This should be digitized to a digital voice signal, right? So what they are saying is we need to sample the signal at twice the highest frequency. Whatever the highest frequency that you are having, you need to twice that particular thing. Suppose if it starts, if it is a human voice, if it is starting from 0 and it is ending with 4 kilohertz, if we assume that it is a human voice, then maximum is 4K. 4K is nothing but 4,000. It should be twice that particular thing. That is two samples per period. In one particular period, two samples I need to take it. So that means two times of this particular 4,000 multiplied by how many bits that I need to represent. We assume that sample requires 8 bits to represent. So each time I need to represent one 8-bit length. So multiplied by 8 will become your 64 kbps. This is how it will be. So we have an analog signal that should be digitized into it. What will be the bit rate? How it will be converted? How fast it will be going on? So how many bits I can transmit in second? That's what I need to just calculate it. So they have given that. So whatever the maximum frequency is there, you need to twice that particular thing. They have only given that. So with respect to this example, this is how it will be calculated. Any doubt with respect to this particular example? We are assuming that it is an analog voice signal. So that to a human voice, because it's 4 kilohertz, your human voice will be ranging from 0 to 4 kilohertz. I assume that 4 kilohertz is the maximum one. So with respect to that particular thing, because 4 kilohertz is the maximum, it is not the maximum value, it is a bandwidth that has been given. So voice is that, so that's why I am assuming that it is a human voice. So if it is a human voice, it will be ranging from 0 to 4 kilohertz. So if it is ranging from 0 to 4 kilohertz, means 0 is the lowest frequency, highest frequency is the 4 kilohertz. So with respect to that, the highest frequency, I'm taking it as twice. So, and each particular, whatever the voice that I'm just transmitting, each bit, whatever I'm transmitting, each time, 8 bits, I can just sample it at a time. So that's why multiplied by 8. This is how the answer, we got it as 64 kilobits per second. Understanding it? What is the bit rate of the high definition TV? That is HDTV. Nowadays, we are using this high definition or high quality TV, right? So if you have a normal aspect ratio of 16:9, which is a very wide length, and it will be having the pixel screen length as 1920 by 1080 pixels per screen. One screen contains that many pixels. So, and the screen is renewed every 30 times per second. These things we need to know. This is the description of your HDTV. HDTV always uses a digital signals because it's a high definition. So just to have it. So what that particular screen normally, it will be having the aspect ratio is 16:9. This is the first thing. And in the 16:9, how many pixels that it will be having in one particular screen is 1920 by 1080 pixels per screen. And the screen is renewed every 30 minutes. Every 30, sorry, renewed 30 times per second. That means one particular second, in 1 second, 30 times it will be changing its particular images. So depending on that, 24 bits represents one color pixel. We all know that RGB. R is for 8-bit, G is for 8-bit, B is for 8-bit. If you just combine these, 8 threes are 24. So 24 bits will be represented for one particular color. If you have any combination, whether it is red, if you are just taking it, means your R particular value will be ranging to maximum. The ranges of your RGB will be coming from 0 to 255 with each bit, 8-bit length. That is what I'm just telling you. So 8-bit is nothing but it is 0 to 255, 0 to 255, 0 to 255, three different color combinations. So R always, if it is represented means, then it will be taking it as red color means 255, 0, 0. If you are taking the combination in the hexadecimal value 0 to 0 to FF, each particular bit, FF 0, 0, 0, 0. That like that it will be just represented. So that is nothing but your color pixel combination. Now what they are asking is how many the bit rate that you will be having. So how many? What is the size of the screen? 1920 cross or multiplied by 1080 pixel. That is one thing. Next, how many color code that I can have it? One particular bit, if you want to represent means 24 bits I require. So how many times it will be just changing that particular screen is 30. So if you just multiply this particular combination, you will get the answer as 1.5. Nearly, approximately, it is 1.5 gigabits per second. This is with respect to normal, any high definition TV. This may increase based on the aspect ratio, based on the pixel rate, followed by the renewed time. But the color combination, color coding will be remaining same. There is no change. Understanding it? Nowadays, Android TV, you are saying it. So what will be the aspect ratio? Based on that, your pixel rate will be changing. Based on this pixel rate, you will be having the renewed time. So renewed time may be 25 also, or maybe 40. So it purely depends on which particular TV that you are using. High definition, this is what it is. So with respect to any particular 4K, if you are just going with it, then it will be different. So depending on that particular screen ability will decide how many bits it can transmit at a time. Understanding it, or how many bits it can recognize at a time. So any doubt, I'll stop here. I'll just take a few questions from your end. If you have any doubt, you can just post it in the chat group so that I can just uh, answer your questions. Yeah. If you have any doubt, you can just post it or raise hand. No problem. See, all these are very simple examples. So this particular example, whatever I'm just showing it, all these things has been appeared more than once in the examination. So only those particular problems I'm just trying to uh, analyze or discuss in the class. So I'll give you some more problems with the solution. First, I'll give you some problems. First, you just try to uh, analyze the problem and get the solution for it. Then I'll just provide the solution for those particular problems also. Okay. So if we solve more problems, then we'll be very familiar with respect to this. Data rate or bit rate is nothing but, instead of data rate, I'll just make it as bit rate. Bit rate is nothing but how many bits I can transmit in a second. That's it, nothing else. So whether it is a digital signal, whether it is an analog signal bit rate is not considered. Whereas in digital signal, we'll call it as a bit rate itself because each bits is representing one particular signal element. How many bits are required to represent a single signal element is purely depending on the levels that it will be having. If it is 2 level, then only 1 bit is enough. If it is 4 level, 2 bits are required. If it is 8 level, 3 bits are required. If it is 16 level, then